What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this, we have I got my driver's license in the Netherlands. Oh, I'm excited to hear the process of that and what all went into it. Before we do, though, if you guys happen to enjoy it, please don't forget to smash that subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. Also, if you like to support the channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is hit the join button to receive your exclusive benefits. Let's get to it.
I got my driver's license in the Netherlands. Ah!
Goodbye, Rotterdam.
Goodbye, Rotterdam. See you later. Gosh, everyone's just already speeding. So it's been a while since I've driven in the Netherlands without the help of a driving instructor, and this is also our first time renting a Green Wheels.
And since we're going somewhere a little more interesting in the next few days, how's that for a teaser? Alex wanted to work out the kinks and get a little driving in. And there is this place that I've been wanting to go to for a really long time now. That's kind of hard to get to unless you have a car.
Do you want to tell everyone about your kinks?
Maybe later. Stay tuned for my kinks.
We're gonna work them out in this video, that's for sure.
Whoa, that sounds very...
We're gonna work out those kinks.
Sexy. Who knew driving could be so sexy? A lot of y'all had questions about Alex's experience driving in the Netherlands and getting his driver's license, so let's just jump right into the first question. What's driving in the Netherlands like versus driving in the US?
So I've driven for something like 25 years in the United States. Yes, I'm old. And I think the biggest thing is just learning all of the signs and the rules of the road here, because obviously the United States decided to go their own way versus the rest of the world on pretty much every road sign. But once you get past that, I mean, it really is just like, there's more stop signs in the United States. Here, the traffic flows more freely, there's more yields, there's more just like unmarked intersections, and you have to know the rules of priority. And then there's a lot more bikes. So I find myself constantly checking my side mirror here, because you need to know, is there someone next to you? Is there someone that's going to come up on you? You need to know who else is on the road with you. It's just different, and it's just something you have to get used to.
Yeah, and we were talking yesterday about how you said you didn't think that there was an intersection pretty much anywhere in the United States that didn't have some sort of signage. And I was like, there is no way that's true. Yeah. And I looked up these really rural areas in Texas, and they had stop signs.
Choo-choo. ICAG, baby. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think in America.
Yeah, I guess everywhere, dude. I mean, but when everybody drives, like, you're gonna have that signage everywhere. That does make sense, and I can see how, like, you would. It feels like you would have to focus more in the Netherlands because you got pedestrians walking, because you got people cycling, you got these different forms of transportation. You don't really have to deal with in the U.S. often, so. It feels like you would have to pay a little bit more attention.
And would know what to do if they ran into a situation where they got to an intersection and there were no lights or stop signs or anything, because I don't think you learn what to do.
Yeah.
Whereas here, that's a normal thing that you do have to actually know what to do at. Generally, it feels a lot safer to drive here, but I'm still, brand new to driving. So ask me in like 25 years of driving in the Netherlands, and maybe I'll give you a different answer. Oh, baby, we have arrived.
I'm so excited.
Dang, look at that plane take off.
It's so close. Alex has driven us to one of my bucket list sites, the plane spotting area near Schiphol Airport, which is said to be one of the best plane spotting areas in Europe.
Yeah, and I think the amount of people here proves that, because it is a Sunday morning.
And it's kind of cloudy outside, like there's some low clouds. I did not expect this many people to be here.
No, there's also a fry shop, a little fry vendor over there.
He's got tables out and everything. This is so cool.
It sounds nice.
Have fun in Detroit. Okay, so before I talk about how I got my license in the Netherlands, let's just get this part out of the way. I was not able to exchange my US license in the Netherlands. You can if you get the 30% tax ruling. We did not choose to do that when we moved here for a multitude of reasons, but after going through this whole experience, you should not do that. That should not be allowed. Like you should have to go through the training. The signs are different, the roads aren't that different, but it's different enough. And honestly, like for the safety of yourself and others, even if you do decide to do that, I highly recommend that you take a few hours of like driving instruction with a driving instructor here, read through the theory book. It's safer for you and for everyone else. So I started off with an intro driving lesson.
I think you should have to go through training when you're driving in another country, because especially if it's different than how driving is in your country, like you got the cycling, you got the pedestrians, you got so many differences, sign differences. You should have to take the training in that country.
The driving instructor here, and afterwards they set me up with this little app to help me prep for the theory exam. And I've got to say, the theory app thing was great. It was really, really convenient, but unfortunately, if it seems too easy, it probably is too easy, because the first time I took my theory exam, I failed it because I didn't feel like I was adequately prepared. So anyway, after that, I went back. I ended up buying a different theory book, and I ended up taking practice exams through a different website. By the way, I'll link the book and the website that I use for practicing the exam in the description. And then after that, things went a lot more smoothly. I passed the second one like almost with flying colors. So once I passed the theory exam, at that point I could schedule my actual driving exam. So I ended up doing 12 hours of practice. I think you only really have to do like 10 if you're coming from a place where you've already got, you know, familiarity with driving. If you're fresh, I think they recommend 30 or more hours. Yeah. Anyway, I did 12 because that ended up being 2 hours a week every week from that moment until the moment of the exam. So it just felt like a good rhythm to get into. To be completely honest, I didn't really have the best experience with my driving instructor. I think you probably should go around and do a couple different test drives or a few different test drives with a few different people. You want to find someone who, I mean, you're not going to be best friends with this person, but I don't know, you want someone you actually feel like you can learn from. I think in the end, I probably would have gotten just as much value driving for 12 hours with Michelle in the car. No offense to Michelle, but I think it's more about just like, as if someone
got just as much value and would have had twice as much fun. Probably, it sounds like, twice as, maybe 3 times, because Michelle seemed like real cool people. And like she'd be fun in a car, in like a road trip.
Who knew how to drive. I just really needed to get like comfortable driving here. It wasn't about like learning a bunch of things. I already learned everything in the book. It was just putting it into practice and then getting comfortable with it before my exam. And then finally the exam happened, but then you have to make an appointment with the gemeente to actually like fill out the paperwork to get your driver's license. And then after that, you have to wait like a week to actually come back and go pick up your driver's license, which is echt Nederlands.
All the appointments.
All of the appointments, including the appointment to pick it up. So, I mean, in the end, I think the whole process took me May, June, July, August, 4 months. No, 5 months, because I started in April. So, I mean, but a lot of that was just waiting. Like, waiting for, I don't know if I could have done it faster. I probably could have, but it didn't seem that long in the end. So, I'm happy with it. Okay, well, that was just the warm-up act. It's time for the headliner.
But first, are we planning on getting a car?
Oh, well, I'm going to be honest with you. Originally, the answer was definitely no, because I kind of just saw us as renting a car as we needed it to go to, you know, places that we want to film vlogs at that aren't super accessible via car, or go to, you know, beaches that are harder to get to, or do a camper van trip or something again someday. But the more that I started looking into this after I got my license, like the past week, I think I've really come to realize that it might make economic sense for us to get a car if we get like a cheap used car. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's something that's like sort of fresh for us at this point, but the economics of using like Green Wheels, My Wheels, or like renting a car from like Avis or Sixt, or like using a car share program or something were not quite as good.
That's a nice way of saying it was expensive.
Yeah, it's more expensive than I thought. So I don't know, maybe we'll see. But right now I'm just.
I might, like he said, you just gotta add it up the financial costs and see which would be better. I mean, with your own car, like it might be economically might be cheaper, but I mean when you think about maintenance and oil changes and gas or petrol, whatever, however, I'm not sure what y'all call it. But all of these different things, like those costs do add up on a car, and I'm sure you gotta get some type of insurance. I don't know how much it costs in the Netherlands, but when owning a car, all those things add up. Whereas renting a car, it might be more expensive that trip, but at least you don't have to deal with those maintenance issues. But I don't know. It depends. I guess it just depends how often they need a car. How often are you gonna need a car? Should make the determining factor.
sort of just seeing how comfortable I am even driving here.
Yeah, I mean, we're still in the early stages, but it also has kind of made us maybe like rethink a bit more about our home search
So
too.
true.
Potentially.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, because who knows? We could live anywhere if we have a car. All right, folks, we are at a McDonald's, and there's a good reason that we're at a McDonald's, because this McDonald's is at the other end of the Schiphol Airport. So if you flip the camera over right here, you can see it is another spotting place.
Look at this.
Yeah. All right, we have arrived at the McDonald's, and our order number is 69.
Nice. Don't judge us for coming to McDonald's, okay?
No, you can
love
judge
that.
us.
Oh.
You can judge us a little bit,
No,
but
I
this
love
is
that.
the
I
last
love
time
that.
that I can get the McSpicy before I think they're about to go into the fall menu. The rumor is there's going to be a McCrispy Korean, which sounds pretty tasty, but the McSpicy is like by far the best thing on the menu at McDonald's here, and I'm sad it's going away. This is the last time I can get it, so we're at McDonald's.
I have no excuses. I'm not getting anything special.
Michelle's getting the trashiest meal.
I
It's her
do.
go-to meal at
What
McDonald's.
is it?
Stay tuned to find out what my trashy McDonald's order is.
I won't include it in the video, it's too shameful. Okay, so while we're waiting on our food, the next question...
I won't include it. It's too shameful. I need to see this meal immediately. I'm staying tuned.
we received was, what is the theory and practical exam like in the Netherlands versus the United States? Let me preface this by saying, again, I did it 25 years ago, so I'm not 100% sure that I remember exactly. I don't remember it being particularly difficult. The theory test here is hard because there's a lot less signs on the road in the Netherlands, so you really have to learn, okay, I'm on this road, these are the rules, this is the speed limit. And then in the United States, there's just like speed limit sign constantly, one after another, reminding you what the speed limit is on that road. I think it's because it's states. Like the rules are different in every state, so you couldn't even memorize it if you wanted to.
They are different.
And
Speed limits and
the other thing I
stuff
thought
are
was
different.
particularly interesting about the theory test here was you had to learn a lot about like what you can haul with your car and what the rules are for that, like how much, like what the rules are for your trailer, or like putting something on the top of your car, or hitching a bike to your car. And I guess that's just because it's more common here in the Netherlands, but that's not really something you have to worry about in the United States. And the driving exam here was a lot less rigid. It's more of like a subjective view of the examiner of your ability to actually like be a like safe participant on the roads in the Netherlands. They're not necessarily like grilling you on every single thing and be like, you lost points here, you lost points there. The one thing I do think they do better in the US is that when you get your theory test completed, between the time that you complete your theory and the time you take your driving exam, you're allowed to drive with anyone that has a license over the age of 21. So that means you get a lot more practice with your parents. I got a lot more comfortable driving because basically anytime I had to drive anywhere, I was always with my mom in the car and I was always the one driving. So that was nice.
Our feast is here.
The feast is here. This is mine.
definitely nice though that you can get that. Yeah, in the U.S. where you can have that ability to drive with anyone over 21, so you can drive with your parents all the time. That is a nice factor. I do think it's a great thing to drive with an instructor, someone who knows how to teach, because sometimes driving with parents can be stressful. Parents can mess you up by overwhelming you. They're not teachers. And so
Fine. There's
pros and
Michelle's
cons.
disgusting order of chicken nuggets and a plain double cheeseburger.
No, a plain regular cheeseburger. A
Plain
double
regular
would be
cheese-
disgusting. Come on.
Okay.
That's a good meal.
All right, I've got my McSpicy and I've got my frites sauce.
Got my nuggets,
Your nuggets that have zero flavor.
my frite sauce.
You gonna dip the nuggets in that or for your fries?
I mean, you can put it on anything. It's mostly for my fries, though.
And the sad.
Nuggets or barbecue. You have to get the barbecue. I love the cheeseburger. I love Michelle's meal. I eat that meal 7 times a week.
Spanish cheeseburger known to man.
It is so sad, isn't it?
Makes you wish we had a Fabo grill burger in front of us right now.
Oh my god, I wish I had their fried chicken right now.
Oh, Michelle, what's it been like driving with me?
Oh, so normal. It's so odd how like we haven't really been in the car together in like 3 years, but
Well, I drove when we were in Cincinnati. Like,
Yeah,
it's not like we, but like,
not that consistently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just so odd how you just like fall right back into like this is totally normal, and it feels like it's been this way for years.
that was actually the hardest part of the practice driving for me was after 25 years, you build up a lot of like rhythms driving, and some of them you have to unlearn.
Were you someone who was excited to get their driver's license in the U.S.?
Yeah, I got it right when I turned 16.
Yeah, I was not. I
No.
got my learner's permit when I was 16, and then I let it expire. And then I just went and got my license when I was 18 because my family was like sick of driving me around.
I feel
When
that.
Michelle and I dated the first time, it was when we were 18. And she used to get so grumpy if she was, like, she would want me to go pick her up to bring her back to my house, and it was like a 20-minute drive.
Which is
And if she ever had to
crazy.
drive to my house, she would be so grumpy.
Well, I had just gotten my license. I had
She
only
hated
been
to drive.
driving for like 3 or 4 months at that point.
So if you're wondering why didn't Michelle get her license, partially it was expensive to get a license here, but also because she doesn't like to drive.
Depending on what our future holds in terms of where we end up buying a house, I will get my license eventually. It's just, there's no rush now.
If the Netherlands let you. You're a good driver. Well, this patio is really, really nice. I'm a fan, but I think that the spotting thing is kind of a bust here. It doesn't seem like they're using any, we thought they were going to be landing here, but it does not seem to be the case today.
No, we've only seen like 2 or 3 like private jets take off, but no big planes.
The other place was better. I guess it depends on the day and the weather. The last question was, how expensive was it to get your license in the Netherlands? I had heard it was actually quite expensive. Like, I think that it is by international standards, maybe. I have no idea how much money my parents spent to give me driving school 25 years ago, so I don't know the comparison. I do know here, the big cost is the cost of the hours that you spend with your driving instructor. So if you're coming in here and you've never driven before, or you're really unfamiliar with driving, that's gonna be the thing that makes this most expensive. But for me, so the theory exam, that was 55 euros each, so it was 110 euros total since I had to do it twice.
Okay.
The book that I ended up buying to practice for the theory that was good ended up being 27 euros. I'm not gonna include the cost of the shitty app that I tried first that led me to ultimately fail the first time I took the test, because
Got you.
you're watching this video, you're not gonna make the same mistake that I did. The health declaration that you're required to fill out to get your license was 45 euros. The website I ended up using to do the practice exams, I ended up buying 2 one-week passes. So that was 15 euros per week. So it ended up being 30 euros. The 12 hours of practice, it was 600 euros. And then the license itself paid to the gemeente was 50 euros. So in total is 862 euros, which honestly, adding it all together, that's actually less than I thought it would be. I thought it was gonna be a lot more than that. So I feel like I got 862 euros worth of value.
Yeah.
Easily.
Anyways, we're really looking forward to more driving related adventures in the area. So
Adventures.
Adventures or adventures.
Yep.
So if you have any suggestions on places we should adventure to, let us know in the comments. Also, if you have more
If you have more suggestions
if you have
for
more
Alex,
questions for Alex about getting your driver's license in the Netherlands, leave those as a comment too. Or I don't know, if you just have a comment in general, just go in there and leave us one.
yeah, just leave a comment.
Yeah.
What's the harm?
Yeah, let us know what's your favorite airplane.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Yeah. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next week.
Totan.
Yeah. I don't know how much it is to get your license at 16. Like if you go to driver's ed here at 15, I don't know how much that costs to be able to get your license at 16, and then all that. I'd say I waited until I was 18, and then I paid to take the test online. It was so easy, and I probably paid like 30, 40 bucks. I'm not sure. Then I don't know. I don't remember how much taking the test cost, to be honest. I paid for my license, I don't know, maybe 20 bucks. But that was kind of it. I didn't need to go through the training like with the driver or anything because I was 18. So I didn't have to do that part where I had to have a certain amount of hours. Yeah. But that was 12 years ago, and it was easy for me, but I don't know how expensive it is if you get it at 16 or if prices have changed today. That's all we have. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, check out the next, and I'll see y'all next time.